and welcome to today's Digital Dealer webinar. Today's webinar is sponsored by ZMOT and is titled Dealer to Dealer Open Forum. Today's webinar presenters are Bobby Heron, Director of Dealer Marketing, Jennifer Briggs, Director of Dealer Strategy, and Ashley Mabry, Director of Retail Performance. The webinar will run approximately 1 hour. Please welcome the ZMOT team.
Well, hello everyone. This is Jennifer Briggs. I'm the Director of Dealer Strategy. I just wanted to take a minute at the beginning. We like to do this as an open forum. We get asked questions from dealers all the time. So we've collected some of the questions that we felt were most valuable. But before we jump into the questions, I just want to let you know a little bit about who we are in case you may not be familiar with our organization. So we are part of the Cardinelli Group of companies. Our Cardinelli Group is made up of 3 companies. First and foremost is our automotive group. We are car dealers. We have 19 dealerships throughout California, Arizona, and Nevada. ZMOT Auto is our in-market retail division. This was our internal marketing and sales strategy department, and we started a few years ago offering to work with dealers outside of our market to help them improve their return on investment as well. Rounding out the 3 companies is Cardinelli Automotive Group Vehicle Supply. So you think about the ride and drive events that you attend, we supply the cars for those. So when you're driving it like you stole it, it's one of ours. Enjoy. What I want to talk about a little bit is, of course, we are number 2 now on the Ward's e-dealer list as far as internet sales volume goes in the country. And that was based off of things that we learned along the way, becoming a digital retailer. And that's how ZMOT Auto evolved. So knowing that we've been through all of the experiences to get us very close to the top, we're still learning every single day. We're going to go ahead and move into talking about the folks who are on here to answer your questions today. So first and foremost, we have Ashley Mabry, who is our Director of Retail Performance. Ashley is actually serving dealers all over the country and in Canada, Mexico as well. She has 14 years automotive retail experience. She is a marketing veteran, unit a month salesperson, BDC marketing director, internet sales director, and sales manager within a variety of import luxury manufacturer groups in the metro markets of Western United States. Thank you, Ashley, for joining us today.
Hello, everyone.
And then Ms. Bobby Heron, who is our Director of Dealer Marketing. Bobby serves in the capacity, leads region group and store buyers through strategy that is dealer to dealer with an integrated retail sales solution throughout U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Bobby Heron is a skilled operator, having served as a corporate director, general manager, sales manager, finance manager, internet sales manager, and marketing manager within a variety of large privately held groups in the United States. Additionally, Ms. Bobby Heron also carries the honor of being named Automotive News 40 Under 40 Retail Award winner. Hi, Bobby.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hi. I would like to thank you and introduce Ms. Jennifer Briggs. So, Jennifer Briggs is the Director of Dealer Strategy for ZMOT Auto, and in this capacity, she leads the region group and store in-market buyers through a selling strategy with a dealer-to-dealer integrated retail sales solution throughout the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Ms. Briggs is an experienced manager and development leader, having served in the capacity of corporate director, operations manager, sales manager, finance manager, internet sales manager, and marketing manager within a variety of large privately held dealer groups within the United States. She is also a 40 Under 40 award winner for 2016, and we would like to thank Jennifer Briggs for joining us today.
Thank you, Bobby.
All right, guys, so as Jennifer had said, we love to get questions, and we will be taking questions live. So you can tweet us at hashtag JustAskZMOT at ZMOT Auto, and I will be monitoring that, and we will answer any questions that you might have for us.
Awesome.
All right, so
Jennifer, this is one of the questions that you had picked out, and since Digital Dealer 21 is coming up in just a few short days, I think that this is appropriate. And the question that they asked is, I'm attending the upcoming DD21 conference. How do I decide which sessions to go to and what to implement first when I get back to the store?
Yes, I love this question, and people do ask me about this all the time. I actually presented on this exact question a couple of years ago at Digital Dealer, and there's a lot of sessions. It's like 100+ sessions that are offered at the Digital Dealer conference. So when you are making the investment to attend this show, right, because it is an investment for you as a dealership, I really encourage you to sit down and look at the agenda and go ahead of time and identify some things that you want to learn. Does not mean that you can't on the fly change it when you get there, or make a switch or decision at the last minute. Sometimes if there's a couple sessions that I want to see, I'll have to go from one to the other to make sure I can catch it. But what's going on in your store, because they have sessions for sales, they have sessions for marketing, they have sessions for service, they have sessions for management and leadership. Decide what your focus is for attending the conference, then sit down and pick out some sessions that are can't miss sessions for you. So once you kind of have an idea of what you're going to attend when you get there, all this stuff is available at their website right now, you guys, by the way. So take a trip to that after you finish this webinar. Once you've decided what it is you're going to go to, right? If you're looking to fix a BDC or create a BDC, find the sessions about BDCs. Also look at lead gen things versus just conversion. Pick that stuff out and get your agenda ready to go. Now, once you actually go, get prepared. Those of you who have been to Digital Dealer conferences before to learn, but hopefully some of you on the call have not, and this will be your first show, which is exciting. Please tweet me while you're there, and I will come and introduce myself in real life. I love to meet all of our auto fam at these shows in person. So, but once you get there, please know it's going to be overwhelming. There's so much happening, and it's kind of like drinking from a fire hose, right? So if you go there and you learn all this stuff and you take all these notes and you have attended like 25 different sessions, please know that it is impossible for you to fix everything at your store all at once. It just is. So what I always encourage people to do is to pick three things that you're going to focus on and put together an action plan for the next 12 months. Every 3 months, you focus on 3 things that you need to fix. So bring those back to your store and try and get those implemented. Have great conversations with your entire staff. Talk to everyone that's involved in making those things work. A lot of times we find these great ideas and we try to go back to the store and implement them, but we don't talk to all the right people, so they fail. Not everyone is sold, you guys. As managers in your dealership, just because you're not on the front line selling cars anymore doesn't mean you're not a salesperson. You have to sell it to your staff as to why it is important for us to do the things or use the product or the new process that you brought back from the Digital Dealer Conference. Those are some of the key things I tell everyone when they're deciding how to implement things in their stores.
That's great advice, Jennifer. I just wanted to add on to that. One thing that I found to be really successful is because you're going to be so excited. The energy at Digital Dealer is really, really, it's really exciting. You're going to be pumped up. You're going to want to change everything. And when you go back to your store, you're going to be expecting everyone else to feel the same way. You're going to have this fantastic idea. And when you say it, you expect that everyone's going to be feeling the same way as you. And sometimes you might get some pushback. They weren't there, so they didn't get that transfer of energy. And so when you pick out those 2 or 3 things that you're going to implement, maybe put some kind of presentation together to go over with your staff so that you can transfer some of that energy to them and get them really excited about what that's going to mean for your store, so that they don't feel like you're just coming back with all of these changes and ideas for no reason. And I would really encourage you to connect with people while you're there. If you go to a session and you really enjoy what they have to say, it's been my experience that everyone who presents at these and the people who attend love to make connections both socially through Twitter or Facebook, but they also are willing to help. And so make those connections with them, because when you go back into the store and you try to implement it, you might come across some stumbling blocks that they would be willing to help you with.
That's a great point, Ash, and we did have a question real quick about this, and it said, will the sessions that you might not make it to be recorded? And that's coming from Lydia. Lydia, absolutely. Digital Dealer offers the sessions. I think you can buy the whole package, but just go to their website and check it out. All right. The next question that we had is for Miss Bobby. She selected this one. Now, Bobby, you said a lot of people are asking you this. I cannot get my people to make videos. Is it really that important?
So the reason that I chose this question from the questions that had been sent in to us was because I knew we were going to be talking a little bit about Digital Dealer and the upcoming sessions. I can't stress to you enough how important a video is, and here's why. If somebody is communicating with you at the dealership, whether it came in as an internet buyer opportunity or they came in as a showroom visit and you're looking at follow-up, they were maybe a phone call, it's always important that we remember that Eric Gale, our fearless leader, always says that by study, by nature, by things online, the average person who's going through a heart surgery will do 4 hours of research. 4 hours of research. And yet we know in our industry that it's 18 to 19 hours to research a vehicle. That's not even taking into account the amount of time that they're researching you. And we have people in this click and go mentality when they're looking online for something or when they're walking into the dealership, which is that I can get this anywhere, right? I can get the same thing anywhere I go. These dealers are stereotyped, you know, we're just looked at as people that can't be trusted. And so when you're selling in a store or you're communicating with a customer, what you'll find, obviously, is that you have to build rapport with them and it has to happen quick, right? You're always working to take a wall down so that you can then have some trust and work together. Video is the easiest way to humanize yourself. If 5 people are trying to call back a customer, which that's at the very least what is happening, whether they send something in online on your site or they send it into a third-party provider who typically sell them 3 or more times, that customer is getting the same level of communication. They're getting an email, they're getting a phone call, something saying, hey, I work till 3 tomorrow. When are you available? I'm on a mission here to earn your business. I don't want to bother you. Whatever it is that you're saying, you're not standing out. But when you meet somebody in person, which is what video does, it takes all of the charm that you have, it takes all of your charisma, and it turns it into a visible thing for the consumer so that that wall starts to come down. The biggest resistance I get on video is that people are uncomfortable doing it. It's like when you think about the service drive. It's a really good idea to work the service drive. We all know that, but nobody likes to do it. They'll go out and do it. You got to push them out there and do all this stuff. And that's because we in our industry have taught people not to initiate contact. We taught them to wait for somebody to come in or to call somebody that expressed an interest. But we haven't done a very good job of humanizing ourselves to somebody who didn't raise their hand. And so when you're looking at trying to get people to do video, one of the things I always suggest in a store is starting with something a little bit silly, right? Because that's why people don't want to do it. They're afraid of how they'll look on the video, how they'll sound. Put out an offer to your salespeople. Give them each a car, an as-is car, a trade, the craziest one that you've got, something they can have fun with, and have them make a video on their cell phone. This is not supposed to be a commercial. It's supposed to be credible, and it can be done with your iPhone and uploaded in less than minutes. And then have them bring that to the sales team, to your meetings, and play them, and laugh with them, and have fun with them, and continue to have them do that until they're comfortable in front of the camera. And you're not going to get everybody to do it, but what you need is one influencer on your floor. It doesn't have to be your top sales guy or your top sales girl. It has to be an influencer who will do it and then talk about it, who will share the success they have from it. There is hundreds of resources available online at no charge. I'm always down to help somebody with video. Elise Kephart has crazy, amazing examples on YouTube. Garber has crazy, amazing examples on YouTube of appointment confirmations that schedule a TO right out of the gate and make it feel like it's just a quick hello. There are all these different opportunities online, so get past the part where you're not sure what to do. Reach out to one of us. I'm speaking at Digital Dealer. I'm happy to help you with whatever I can. We have products that we work with through other people that help you with video as well, but getting them on it is the most important thing you can do, and that starts at the top. So the leader's got to get out there and get a little bit silly too.
That's a fantastic point, Bobby. I just want to follow up on that. I had done a huge video training with my stores, and the funny part of it is I didn't bring the salespeople in. What I did was I did an importance of video through correspondence training for all of my sales managers. And so at the end of the session, the training session, we brought someone in to help with it. At the end of it, it was really great. This exact question came from one of my used car sales managers. And he says, Briggs, what if I can't get the salespeople to do it? How am I going to get them to go out there and do it? And the answer was very simple. You do it first, right? We're the leaders of our dealerships. We're the ones who are supposed to be inspiring them to be the best that they can be. And a lot of times, guys, look, I know we are so busy. Doesn't feel like there's a spare minute when you're sitting on that desk, you're managing the floor, you're doing it. But I promise you, taking that little bit of time to go out and be the one that does the walk around video. Be the one that does an awesome introductory video right in front of the store. It'll take you maybe anywhere between 2 to 10 minutes to do it, but you are going to show your staff that you are in it with them, that you believe in it, that it is valuable, and that will inspire them to do it. Besides, then you can always say, it's my famous line, right? I am never going to ask you to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. I believe in it, and I believe in you. So let's put those things together and make magic happen. Ooh.
I love that.
Sorry, I like to say those wonderful inspirational things, but I really believe if you're working with me, you've gotten video emails from me, so you know I believe in video.
Absolutely. We use it every day in our own follow-up. I mean, we consult for dealers, and we provide marketing channels and solutions, and we are always using video to engage and speak with them. So thank you. And I wanted to shout out to Deborah Newton on Twitter for your nice comment. Thank you very much. I'm passionate about video, so I'm glad to hear that you are as well. Next up, we have Mrs. Ashley Mayberry, who we love, and we love her responses when it comes to online reviews. Ashley chose this question from the pre-selected questions that were sent in. And this is one that I'm really excited to hear the answer to because everybody is looking at this right now. So Ashley, tell us, how can we increase our online reviews?
Well, thank you, Bobby. No, I wanted to choose this question because I've seen online more and more people asking about this. I think everyone's starting to really believe that don't worry about the bad reviews, we just need to get more of them. We've been saying that for a long time, but more and more people are taking up that philosophy and they want to know, how can I get more reviews? You know, part of the problem is asking those customers for the reviews when they're there in the store. They have all the best intentions of doing it for you, but unfortunately life gets in the way, right? It's not as important to them as it is to you. So one thing, I'm going to give you one easy, quick tip that almost anybody can do. Most of the CRM companies offer this, especially I know if you're part of VIN Solutions or if you're a dealer socket client, they have these built in. So you can set up automated surveys that will go out to your customers whenever they finish up a service or a sales transaction. It's going to be a really quick survey that basically just asks them one question: were you satisfied or not satisfied? When they click that they were satisfied, it's going to send out another email to them asking for them, thanking them for their business, saying, we're so glad that you were satisfied, can you please post a review? And you can customize that to whichever sites that you want to bolster up. If it's Google, you can actually target your Gmail accounts. If it's you want to get more reviews on Yelp, if you want to get more reviews on DealerRater, wherever you feel like the biggest impact is going to be, you can set those emails to go out and push those consumers to those review sites. If they click no, then you can have that come back to you and say, why, have that go to a manager, and then hopefully you can resolve that, and after the resolution, you can then go ask for that review. So that's one way that you can just simply set up an automated system that will run all the time and build up an online reviews for you.
That's a great answer, Ashley. A great answer. I would add to that too. On our teams, we work with all different CRMs with our clients. But each one of us independently has a pretty strong specialty in each area. So I would say for the people who are on Vin Solutions that are listening, and likely with a lot of the other CRMs too, one of the things you can do in your reporting section is pull everybody from your system that has an @Gmail address, and you can send to those people a request for an online review, which will help you increase your Google reviews. And in our opinion, in most people's opinions, those are extremely important. Now, other dealers will say to us, well, what if we get a bad one? Well, what if you do? I mean, it makes you more credible, right? Not everybody is perfect. And your customers, and the customers that are reviewing you, that are deciding if they want to come into your store, are not making that decision based on you being perfect. They're making that decision based on how you handle a situation. So if you think back old school and how we used to teach in car sales, we used to say all the time, if you have a customer that everything is perfect for, they're great, they're a great customer. If you have a customer that something was screwed up on and you fix it, all of a sudden they're your biggest advocate, right? So when you're getting these reviews online and using those methods that Ashley talked to you about, remember that you need to respond to all of them online. Not a service, you. To both the positive, to thank them for the business, and the negative, to address it and say, certainly this isn't the type of way that we want to do business, and I'm sorry for your perception of what you saw, or the miscommunication. Please contact me at da-da-da-da. We're not trying to handle that situation online, and we're not trying to combat the customer in front of an audience. We're trying to show that we care, and that's all you have to do, and then follow up with the consumer. Ashley, that's a great answer.
Well, thank you. That's a great point that you made as well. So,
and remember, guys, those of you who are listening, don't forget, if you just hashtag #JustAskZMOT on Twitter, or you put it in the field, you can ask a question live at any time. Sorry, guys, go ahead.
So, Jen, the next question is for you, and it says, why is confirming an appointment such a big deal? I don't have time.
I selected this for a very important reason. Now, I know, and this is, we at Cardinelli Automotive Group, and throughout my career, I've always believed in a manager confirmation. Like I mentioned earlier, we're at the desk, we're busy, we got a ton of stuff going on, but I'm going to tell you guys why confirming appointments is such a big deal, and why we believe, and it has been integral to our success, in a manager appointment confirmation. So, first and foremost, you need to make time for this. This is your customer. This is your buyer. This is someone who is going to come in and allow you to start building a relationship with them to be their car dealer. Don't think of it as a task in a CRM. If you are thinking of it that way, you are thinking of it wrong. And I promise you that shifting your mentality will increase your shown rate. You'll have more people walk through the door of your dealership, and let me explain why. You need to take time to do this. When you as a manager can call that person to confirm their appointment, what you are doing is you are validating and building up your salesperson, right? And we have a script. The script that we use, we call it our VIP appointment confirmation script. I am happy to share that with anyone at all who wants it. So please, just message me. My contact information will be at the end. You can tweet Just Ask ZMOT. You can plug it in here. Reach out to us, and we will share that script with you. The reason why it is important is we are making our first contact as a management team, right? You want an early TO in your sales process, right? You get an early TO, you get a bigger gross on a deal most typically. Isn't that the case? So think of it along the same lines. The person's not in your showroom yet, but it's still a buyer, and you want to have that TO, you want to have that awesome touch point. We make the confirmation. We let them know, yes, we're going to see you on Saturday. We're so excited to see you on Saturday at 12:30. You're going to be working with Ashley. She is an amazing, amazing representative, and I know that she is going to take great care of you. But here at Cardinelli GMC, we believe in creating outstanding relationships. And when you come on Saturday at 12:30 to see Ashley, Bobby, are you coming by yourself, or will you be bringing someone else? We find out.
I'm coming by myself, Jennifer.
Well, Bobby, when you come to see Ashley, I would love to actually have a great drink ready for you. Can I pick you up a iced coffee, a juice, something along those lines?
That'd be great.
Right? We grab their drink order. We are going above and beyond for that customer. Our show rates are 80%. This phone call that we do as management team maybe will take us 2 minutes, 3 minutes to actually talk to the customer. And guys, we believe in a live transfer to appointment confirmation. If the salesperson or the BDC agent sets an appointment that's 4 days away, we don't wait until the night before or the morning of to confirm that appointment. We are, boom, confirming it. Immediate live transfer to the desk. I get it. That's not something every store can do right away. It takes time to work that into the process. And even if they don't get them live, call them back within 20 minutes, make that confirmation. You are solidifying the commitment. When, like Bobby mentioned, when you're being shopped against how many dealerships, right? It is so important to make that impression, to create an amazing experience. And your appointment confirmation is step one to creating an amazing experience. At Cardinale, and at ZMOT, we don't train on transactional car sales. We train on experiential retail. You will win. And you guys, I love cars. I'm a total car guy, but let's all be perfectly honest. They are buying us. They're buying our store. They're buying that experience. So start it with an appointment confirmation. If you don't think you have time, you're shorting yourself on your paycheck. Plain and simple. Y'all know I don't always sugarcoat stuff. I will try to keep it very nice because we are on broadcast. But if you've had a conversation with me, I'm here to help you make money. I'm not here to make you feel better and placate you saying you don't have time. Make time to do it. Go back and look at what your appointment metrics are. I'd be happy to jump into the CRM and help you look at it. And then I have a spreadsheet that's called shoulda, woulda, coulda, and we can take your metrics and then take your volumes based off of if you could implement this one step into your process and actually do it, how many car deals that means for you. It's a big deal. Absolutely. Make time. Okay, I'm done on my soapbox. Anybody else want to jump in?
That's absolute gold, you guys. So I hope that you're really taking down notes on what Jennifer said. And like she said, from us to you, dealer to dealer, if any of you want that VIP appointment confirmation script, any one of us are more than happy to walk you through it, walk your staff through it, and provide that for you. I just wanted to make one other quick point. So when we're talking about appointment confirmations and show percentages, if your show ratios are extremely low, way below the average, let's say you have 15%, 20%, is that because people are not showing up for appointments that were actually set? Or is that because you never had an appointment in the first place, right? We had well, I might come in over the weekend sometime if it fits into my schedule, and now you have a BD agent or a salesperson putting that in the system as an appointment when it really never was an appointment. Doing a live transfer to a manager and having them confirm that appointment is the fastest way to find out how many real appointments that you have versus how many quote-unquote appointments that you have, right? The other thing is that they will be able to help to save that. So if I'm a salesperson and I have maybe I might stop by at the end of the week appointment going on, you know, those tentative appointments that we like to count as appointments that don't show up. When I live transfer that to a manager, I can say, hey, Jen, I have this guy on the line. It sounds like he might be able to come in this weekend, but I wasn't able to get a true appointment, which is something that has a date and a time and a person that they're going to ask for. Can you confirm this appointment for me? And I'm going to get the best person in my store, which should be your managers, on that call and have them solidify an appointment for you. That's going to immediately increase those show percentages.
Ashley, that is a fantastic point. I didn't even go there because there's a 40% difference in show between a soft appointment, which is, hey, I might swing by on Saturday, and that hard appointment. And it is fantastic to have the management team step in there, Ashley. That is a great point.
So I want to come in on this one too. I think this one is such a huge deal. And I want to remind everybody of two things. One is when we're talking about confirming appointments, I want you to start to think about it like reaffirming an appointment. When was the last time that you set an appointment for something and your day changed and all of a sudden you forgot that the next day you had an appointment? Thank God that dentist called you, right? Thank God that hairstylist called you, whatever it was, because that's why you remembered it. But when we talk about the experience starting from the beginning with a consumer, part of that is us having the courage, having the absolute courage to say, I am making my customer a priority. There is nothing that makes me feel less important when dealing with any business than feeling like I'm not important. And that's the way it works with our consumers. We used to say, you know, if people buy from people they know, like, and trust. Well, if you're on this call and you've ever had a family member buy from somebody else, which we all have, they know, like, and trust you, but they didn't feel special in that moment. And you can tell yourself that it was because they weren't aware or whatever it is. But the reality of it is that when we reaffirm something with somebody, we're saying, hey, we didn't forget about you, and we hope you didn't forget about us. When you add in something like a special drink order, it starts a sense of obligation. So I want you to think about the last time you got in the mail a letter from, say, St. Jude, right, asking for money, but they send you $1. Think about that. They sent that letter up to 20,000 people. That's $20,000, and here they are asking you to give them something in return to make up for it. The reason for that is it creates an obligation in the consumer's mind. It gives them a reason why it's important to not show up, to say, I made a commitment, they're making one to me. And it's a very simple thing that generates a lot of ROI and does replace a couple of the issues that you'll have when the consumer gets there. Also, it starts the experience from wow when the customer gets there, because you're greeting them hopefully up front with the car pulled up and ready to go, with a reserve sign in it, with a coffee, like, boom, Disney's got nothing on us when we start doing stuff like this. And that's how I wanted you to think about it, right? And then I also want you to stop thinking about appointments as just a thing that happens when an internet buyer opportunity comes in or a phone call comes in. Because if a customer is in the showroom and they schedule a time to come back tomorrow, they are an appointment. You put it in your system now. A really great friend of mine, Bobby Holmes, has always told me, and you'll hear this everywhere if you follow Cardone or anybody else, but one of three things happens in every interaction with somebody, right? One, they're selling you on why they're not going to buy a car from you. Two, you're selling them on why they're going to. Or three, they're disclosing what their objection is and giving you a chance to change it. So what Jennifer mentioned and Ashley mentioned was a soft appointment. There's nothing wrong with a soft appointment to get somebody interested, but when you reaffirm a soft appointment, you have an opportunity to make that appointment stronger and set a firm time. And that is best utilized when the appointment is set for today or tomorrow. If you've got a soft appointment on Saturday and it's Tuesday, you definitely have to have a reaffirmation there. So I know we harp on this one a lot, but remember, in all these things that we talk about every day, I'll have dealers say to me, well, that's not going to sell me 20 more cars. Well, home runs don't win baseball games either. Base hits do. And every one of these steps adds up to more deals every day, a better wow experience, and repeat business. And that is why all of these steps are important to implement. This one's a huge one, and I'm going to be talking about it at Digital Dealer on Monday morning. So join my session if you have more questions, and I'm happy to talk with you as long as possible. If not, you're welcome to reach out to me too.
Yeah, and absolutely, Katie, we just got the question come in. We will send that script your way.
Is that Miss Katie Wagner?
Yes, it is Miss Katie Wagner.
Hey, Katie, thank you for your great question. We'll get that stuff over to you.
So the next question that Bobby selected, and this is what she just mentioned, she is going to be speaking about this at Digital Dealer. So the question, Bobby, is how do you respond to an internet opportunity asking for the best deal, but it's also saying send me a quote by email and the best deal is going to win?
Yeah, this question gets me so fired up, guys. Here's why. So I'm going to actually read to you where this came from, and I've talked about it a lot this year, and this is one of the things I'm going to cover at Digital Dealer too. The actual question that was sent in on a forum. Somebody posted it, and they posted out what the customer had sent in, which was similar to a template that we would send them, right? And we're all offended on the forum, like, you can't believe they sent me a template. Really? Come on now. But what the customer said was, I have test-driven it, right? I have test-driven this vehicle. Now listen to this when I say this. I want you to pick up the key points in here because this will tell you which person you are and if you need to address this. I have test-driven this vehicle already, so I do not need to come in. You hear that? I've already test-driven it, so I'm past the first step. Remember, they visit 1.2 buyers, okay? 1.2 stores, not buyers, stores. I'm looking to buy in the next 2 weeks. Oh, I'm sorry, did you just say that you're an immediate in-market buyer? I'm researching all dealerships in the state, and I'll work with the dealership who gives me the best price offer out the door. Is that unfair to us? It's not. We need to be transparent. Your stuff is online. It's not a secret. So the customer here is saying to you, just tell me you're being honest with me, right? I'd like an out-the-door price on this model, availability on your lot, waiting time if you don't have it. Oh, wow, what a nice customer. They're willing to wait. They know their car is a niche. Ding, ding, ding. They've already done the research. I also want to know how far over or under invoice you're quoting me. Do you hear that? That's the thing that happens in the showroom when we say, oh, they're going to the other store. Well, it's not going to be apples to apples. It's not the same car. It's not the same trim. Your customer just said, I get it. I don't want to be that guy. So just give me an over and under. That way, if I switch trim levels, I know where I'm at. That way, I can compare offers accurately. Please list any dealer fees out for me. Now, this was posted, and I am not kidding you when I tell you that over 40 general managers, over 30 sales managers, over 51 BDC and sales people said, I take that. I don't have time for that. Okay, so hold on for a minute here, because I want you to really think about this. This is a customer who did not walk into your showroom, spend 4 hours test driving 50 vehicles, waste your time when they had to call their wife or their husband or the C lawyer, find out if it was okay if they bought a car, come into the next one, have you do a search, tell you it's not apples to apples and that the price isn't better. This is a customer that got right down to it. And when we're in the showroom with a consumer closing a deal, we spend 80% of our time building rapport and showing product, and we only spend 20% of our time during the close where we make all the money. This customer just said to you, I'm going to work 100% during the close. I'm going to give you an opportunity to earn my business. And in return, I'm going to be upfront with you. This is a buyer. This is somebody who has their hand raised saying, I am ready to buy. And if you're willing to let a little bit of competition get under your skin, if you're willing to say things like, I'm not going to give a number, they'll shop me. Oh, right, because that wasn't available on the 37 sites they already looked at for the last 3 weeks, right? Or, I'm not going to list out the dealer fees, that's a secret. They'll have to come in to get that. Here's a news flash. You're going to spend 4 hours with somebody who just comes in to get that. And the average consumer now doesn't want to spend more than 60 minutes in a dealership. So if we take opportunities like this and we don't look at it like an order taker and we say, that's the one I'm getting, and we get it, you don't have to go down to cost on everything. Remember that pricing is about value. In this particular model, you're competing on price. But once you build that trust and you're transparent, you are not competing on price for your warranty, for your gas, for your credit life accident and health, for your low jack, for whatever product it is you're working. What about undercoating? What about, you have all these opportunities, and I think we get into our own heads and say, I'm only going to work with the customer that walks in the door. I'll take 100 of these all day long. And not because I just want volume, not because I don't want growth, but because when I look at an opportunity for a buyer, I see a chance to sell a vehicle, create a repeat customer, and make my team help out where they can feed their family, right? I might not want to take a deal that is at invoice. I get it. I might not want to tell this customer it's 300 under. But with everything they just gave me, I only need to have 10 minutes to craft an answer to them, and then I have an opportunity to bring them in the door. That is no different than any other level of advertising you use, except this is more efficient and streamlined. So don't get into the trap of that, right? Don't say to yourself that that's not a real opportunity, because it is a real opportunity. And when you respond, I would respond by answering every one of their questions, inserting the closest vehicle to what they're looking at along with a second trim level, and then inserting a video humanizing myself, because if you're picking me based on price, I better figure out a way to stand out. And that video takes 60 seconds to make. So I am super passionate about how you respond to consumers, letting it be a wow experience for the beginning, making it more efficient so it doesn't take up a bunch of wasted time, and maximizing the opportunities, because the way that you respond to somebody from the get-go is exactly how their mind will perceive the experience that you're going to give them. And that is how we earn business, people. We don't get to do anything different than any other dealer when it comes to price, payment, leasing, any of that stuff, trade-in. It's all negotiable. It's all the same everywhere you go. So the only way to stand out is by creating a wow experience. And this, my friends, is where it starts.
I want to point out to everybody listening one key thing that you may or may not have picked up on Bobby's response to that. In the forum, or in the wherever when this was originally asked, it was asked about a lead. Miss Bobby Heron did not use the word lead once at all in her response. And the reason for that is at Cardinale and at ZMOT, we are canceling the word lead. We do not use the word lead. That creates the wrong mentality in your store. We talk about them as buyers. If someone walked into your showroom and stood there for 15 minutes before anybody said hello, and let's be honest, guys, that happens in your CRM or your ILM every flippin' day if you are treating them and calling them leads. You need to interact with these opportunities just like they were a buyer in your showroom. I love Bobby's response because she's like taking us through, man, this person's already gone through a few of the steps on the road to the sale. Now we're ready to get down to business. They saved us time. But because we're thinking about it as a lead, we're not thinking about it as a real person. We're not even giving ourselves a chance to create that wow moment. And guys, I've been in the business a long time. Back when internet leads came via fax. And I saw that dang piece of paper sitting on that fax machine for forever. Now, back then, I was in accounting, so I wasn't responding to them when they were on the fax machine. Or I would have grabbed them, but many times I grabbed them and had to take them to a sales manager because nobody paid attention to the lead. We are not talking about leads. When somebody raises their hand and says, I need your help purchasing a vehicle, that is a person. And if you want to be their long-term car person, or you want to be their dealership, you want to create an outstanding relationship, you need to treat them like a person. And here is the thing, guys, respond, but make sure you're answering their questions. The particular opportunity that this question was about asks for several things. If a consumer, a buyer, sends in an internet opportunity to you and asks you questions, you better answer their question. And I love that Bobby said, oh, I don't want to tell them price. Seriously, you guys, the price is out there. Your price is online. Everybody can compare. There's so many different websites. It's like between 17 and 22 websites that the average automotive shopper is researching, and they only go to 1.2 dealerships. So your response to that buyer is very important. And if you right out of the gate stop treating it like a lead. I'm going to say that again. Stop calling it and treating it like a lead, and start responding as if that was a buyer in your showroom asking for help. You will find yourself included as the one if you can start out of the gate right away treating them like a buyer that you're ready to help.
Yeah, you know, Jennifer, I want to just throw in one quick thing before I have to move on to the next question is, you know, you spend as an industry $55 billion a year, according to Google. I'm not even pulling this out of thin air, as an industry on advertising. And I always have clients or dealers say to me, well, we need more. We're not converting them. Stop it. Stop putting that money out there and saying that it's okay to be average on how you respond to these things. I love the list of people that I see on this right now are a lot of BDC people and a lot of people who are saying, how do I do this and get a greater response? And I love that this question was asked. It's one of my absolute favorites for that reason. And I'm happy to talk to you about it at any time. So you're welcome to reach out. Lydia, I did see that you asked a question on how you get those wow videos. Shoot me an email at bheron@zmotauto.com, and I will personally, along with the ladies on this call, make a couple for you and show you what to do along with a couple links.
Awesome.
Yeah, real quick before we move on to the next question, I just wanted to throw something out there. So if you guys caught that, Bobby said that there were 50 plus GMs, right? 40 plus sales managers, you know, another 50 plus salespeople and BDC people that do not want to answer that customer's questions, that do not want to do business in the way that that customer wants to do business. And so although you may see that and think, oh, that's going to be a really tough customer, you need to actually be thinking, this is going to be a super easy transaction because nobody is going to provide them with what they're asking for or the service that they're requiring. And I can be that one out of the hundreds that say, oh, I just throw that away. I'll just mark it as lost and I'll never answer it. So just by doing something a little bit different, you can capture all of that business because you'll be way ahead of the curve.
And I'm going to just follow up on that. That will get you 20 more car deals a month. If you're not,
Yes, it will.
it will. Next question.
So
All
this
right.
is a question we get all the time. Staffing is a huge deal. We get this question all the time, and especially when we're talking about staffing a BDC, because a lot of dealers look at the BDC as a cost, because they're not, a lot of times they're not working off of 100% commission. So we look at this as a cost. I would challenge you to look at that differently, because if your department is set up in a way that is profitable and productive, then it's not a cost. It should generate you revenue, not cost you revenue. But in any case, we get this question all the time. How many people should really be in my BDC? And how many opportunities per person is a best practice? So the answer to this is not easy, because it's going to depend on how your BDC is set up. Is it a cradle to grave? Is it only internet customers? Are they doing data mining? Do you have a combination of a sales service BDC? Are they taking your inbound phone calls? So depending on how that's set up, you can have different answers. And if you have a question about your specific BDC, or you're thinking about building one, or you need to restructure or anything like that, you can reach out to me, and I am happy to, look at it from all angles with you and make some suggestions. But just to give you a quick breakdown, if you have a cradle to grave system, which I normally wouldn't classify as a BDC, but you might be doing that in your stores, I would say no more than 70 opportunities per person. That might seem low. I get that all the time. Oh gosh, that seems really low. How are they going to do, their 10 cars? Well, if they're doing all of the steps the way they really need to be, and they're aggressive, then that's going to be plenty of opportunities for them, because anything more than that, and they are not going to be able to keep up with the workload. Because remember, those opportunities are going to flow in month after month. Yes, some get marked as lost, some sell, but they're going to be consistently filling up that pipeline. If you have a BDC that's only handling internet, or they're doing data mining or some combination of that without any inbound phone calls, I would cap that off at about 120 or 125. And then if you're taking some inbound phone calls, you may be able to stretch that to 150, but you need to be always looking at how many activities that they have every day, what's their contact percentages, what are their appointment set percentages, because if those numbers, if you start to add in more opportunities to a person and those numbers start to drop, they're probably getting overwhelmed, or they're starting to cherry pick it. It might be just out of necessity. They may be going for that low-hanging fruit because they can just not keep up with the volume. And so you may have to adjust that. But those are just kind of a quick guideline. Every situation is a little bit different. So again, you can reach out to me at amayberry@zmotauto.com, or call me on my cell phone. Our contact information is going to be the last slide here on this presentation. And I am more than happy to talk to you about what are your goals, what is the BDC handling, and what's your structure currently right now, and help to give you some suggestions on how you can build that, so that it's not only that you're able to handle the opportunities coming in, but that the department is actually profitable and revenue generating for you.
Absolutely. That's a great answer, Ashley. And, you got to remember that it's not a one-size-fits-all. People use the term BDC so loosely. Like, anytime somebody's handling an internet buyer opportunity, they're like, oh, that's a BDC. It's not. That's not technically what it is, but what we're saying is, no matter how you have it set up, whatever works within your process, it can be successful. But when you overflow into a department, and we see this a lot, right? You'll have an internet person or a BDC person, they're handling 300 leads, they're, doing all the overflow work. Somebody's got to wrap a present for a party, and it's like, you go in there and you're like, here it is. Somebody's got to go shopping for a charity function. And it's a consistent thing. I don't know why that happens so often, but it does. And when you look at your process and say, if I could use 300 leads this month, and even half of them are bad sold or whatever, and the next month there's another 150 still left over and carryover, plus another 300, you're setting yourself up only to be able to handle internet buyer opportunities the minute they come in. But don't forget that the average buying cycle lasts up to 6 months, people. 6 months is the average buying cycle. And you don't know what point they're at in that 6 months when they send you in the opportunity. So they could be in the beginning and need to be courted and need to have their hand held a little bit and need to feel very important. Or they could be at the end, or they could even come into the showroom and maybe you have a BDC person calling to do the follow-up afterwards, a customer service follow-up call, which, by the way, if you're not doing, reach out to us because that works well. But you're not setting them up for success to be able to do this, and you're spending way too much money on advertising coming in if you don't have the right people in place. That's one of the things that we say. Now, we offer a lot of marketing channels, but we're not in a company where we would come in and say, you need all this stuff and then good luck. We're in a company, whether you work with us or not, where we would say, take that money, put it into the second person that you need, along with some training. Let's grow this and make this work without adding anything, and then let's do it. Because we believe, the three of us on this call, believe that whenever you're doing something new or you're doing a change, you're building a foundation. Think about it like you're building a house. You're building a foundation, and you can't put up the drywall until there's no cracks in the foundation. It's never okay to be reactive. If you're proactive, this is more successful. So that's a great answer, Ashley, and definitely reach out to her.
Absolutely. And I want to definitely stress what Ashley said as well. So the structure is going to be a big deal as to where that point of diminishing returns is for you, because that's what it is. She said they might have too much and they get to be where they're cherry picking. If you are putting too much on one person, and I have gone into stores where one person was responsible for 600 opportunities. Again, I know
crazy.
it is nuts, and a lot of dealers view the BDC or appointment setting or internet or whatever as an expense. It is only an expense to you if you are mishandling those opportunities and you're not setting your team up for success. So most certainly, just call and talk to us. I know that Ashley's doing has done presentations on how to find the right structure for you. Call, talk to us, let's talk about what's the right structure for your store. And I just did a short little 10-minute video throughout social talking about how to properly expense and allocate the expense for your BDC to get a return on it. Are you looking at it the right way? Which most of us are not. So I love this question, and I'm so glad that, Ashley, you selected it.
Can I real quick throw out there, because I know there's a lot of BDC people on the call. If you're in one of these BDC departments and you're struggling with this and you're getting nowhere with your leader, let us help you, right? That's not an obligatory thing that you're hiring us for. That's a conversation, and every one of us has sat and built and ran a BDC with managers who are new to it or maybe don't understand and had to go through the same thing that you're going through. And we will give you ways to explain that and show that and prove value so that you're not overburdened and you're getting a higher commission check. Just let us know what we can do to help you. Again, it's hashtag Just Ask ZMOT, and we follow that philosophy. You can just ask anytime you have a question.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies, next up.
Well, that leads right into hashtag Just Ask. Just Ask ZMOT. Tweet us at ZMOT Auto. Ashley is available. Ashley, what's your Twitter handle?
Oh, go to the screen and you'll see it.
I know, I just wanted her to say it.
And actually, it looks like, just to make sure that you guys don't get the wrong one, if you want to talk to Briggs, that is not her Twitter handle.
Oh,
so, I'm sorry,
my name
and it has to be under her name.
Although I do get
That's my bad, guys.
I get mistaken by my own mother for Bobby, so.
So Jen, why don't you give everybody your information?
Well, you guys know me as Next Level Briggs, right? Tweet me at Next Level Briggs. That is my correct cell phone, so you could just text me if you wanted to. It's 517-366-0219. So again, I am Jennifer Briggs, not Bobby Heron, and you can find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Text me, email me, whatever way. I seriously, honestly mean, just call me, just ask. I am so excited to help. One thing that I share with a lot of people, and I encourage you to, as a leader or as growing your own career, is to figure out your why. And my why is to change the way that we do business, and allowing me to help you helps me change the way we do business. So seriously, just ask me.
And I would say to you, Yeah, I wanted to real quick. I am so blessed to have been on site with a dealer client all week this week, changing processes and building a new culture with them. So at 3 a.m., when I added that information, I just thought, you know what else could I do? Jennifer is also busy. I'll make sure I get the retweet for her. So that is my bad for sure. And Miss Briggs, though, you can always hit her up at Fine on the Line. I'll make sure she gets your message.
Well, and yeah, Jen and Bobby are BFFs, and they spend all their time together. So if you get a hold of Bobby, she'll be able to pass your message on to Jen. But guys, all three of us are going to be at Digital Dealer. So if you are heading out to Digital Dealer and you would like to meet us in person, I love meeting, especially our dealer people, and just making new connections and having great conversations. We are going to be at Digital Dealer. We are going to have a booth there, booth number 145, and you can tweet any of us to just meet up or come by the booth and have a conversation, and we hope to meet a lot of you guys there.
Yeah, shoot us a text even.
Yeah, our booth
shoot us a text and no. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to let them know where the booth is. The booth is going to be right by the entrance to the keynote, you guys. So we're going to be right there, super easy to find. You can just swing by. You're going to pass us, just grab one of us and say hey. Or, like Bobby was saying, Bobby, I'll hand it over to you.
And it's so funny, great minds think alike, right? That's what I was going to tell them was where the booth was. But feel free to text us, right? You don't need a double SMS opt-in to text us. We'll just allow it. It's the easiest way to communicate with us when we're at a conference or by our Twitter handle. And we genuinely mean it. You want to sit down for a peer networking power roundtable? We'll build one while we're there, and we'll take everybody to a table in a networking room, and we'll build out some amazing things with you, just as a dealer-to-dealer partner and professional, because we have that in every one of your seats, and we are watching this industry grow, and we want to be a part of helping create change for it. So don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to stop and say hi, and please take advantage of our time while we're there. If you're not going to Digital Dealer and you're on this call, the same offer applies to you. We will put together a virtual roundtable or have a conversation with you at any time. You are more than welcome to reach out to us anytime that you like.
Oh, we got a little shout out there. Hashtag can't wait for DD21.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. DD is one of our favorite conferences, and we love, love, love the audience that's there, the sessions. We all have sessions going on while we're there. Eric Gale will be the keynote on Monday evening, and I have a class Monday morning. Jennifer, I think, are you Tuesday or are you Wednesday?
I'm Wednesday at 10. I'm going to be talking about managing your managers and making the most of the metrics that make you money. So it's going to be a great one.
And that leaves Tuesday, which will be Eric Gale's session. And Miss Ashley May very, very graciously offered to not present this time so that she can be at the booth to answer questions while we're in sessions as well. So we love that you attended our story today.
Absolutely. So I'm just checking Twitter. I think, oh, thanks for the great webinar. Thank you. We appreciate that. Just checking Twitter one last time because I know we have one more minute and I don't want to miss anyone's questions. Ash, do you have that up? Do we have one more on Twitter or are we good to go?
No, it's just been thanking us for the webinar and all that, but no questions.
Oh, wait, here's one. Deborah Christine. Two of us are Michigan girls. We're working on getting Ashley out here to Michigan. She's currently a Cali girl. So that was a question on Twitter.
We are all over the country, guys. And you know, in our world in automotive, titles, they don't mean a lot except for a title and what you might be responsible for. But every one of us works with clients both on a marketing perspective as well as people in process on consulting and peer performance management. We work together as one team moving in one direction with everybody in the United States and in Canada. So you can jump to any one of us and we will all make sure that you have the assistance that you need.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. We're so glad to spend this time with you.
Thank you, guys.
Have a wonderful day.
Great. Thank you guys so much for attending today's webinar, and thank you to ZMOT and their team for some great content. To view this webinar on demand and future Digital Dealer webinars, please visit digitaldealer.com/webinars. Thank you and have a great day.